Hello, Lou.
Hey, Tren.
Welcome to our channel.
Welcome to our channel. Yes, thank you for supporting
Yeah,
us.
yes, thank you very much. Thank you for watching, listening,
Liking, sharing,
liking, sharing, subscribing, all the things,
bringing friends, all the things.
asking
Yeah.
questions.
Asking questions. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so we're the tarot dealers.
We are. We're two
Yes,
old ducks who just love talking about tarot.
yes. We've got we don't like to say this, but we've got over 50 years experience
We do. We say it every week, but
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, we don't like to say it. But
Just
reading, teaching, working with tarot. So
absolutely.
yeah,
And we do it in a whole different lot of ways. So Tren
yeah,
has this modality that she's created that
yeah,
she calls tarot and tapping.
yes,
And that allows us to remove emotional blocks and dive deeper into the cards themselves as individual cards. Maybe you feel a bit blocked or stuck with
yeah.
what the meaning is, and tapping can help with that. Or maybe the card invokes some emotion that you're like, what the fuck? I didn't know I felt like
Exactly.
this,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
So
exactly.
it helps with that.
Yes, and Lou
Definitely.
is a published author, and she has a book called The Tarot Tells, which you can get on her website.
You can www.lulufletcher.com.au.
Yes, and on her website, she has lots and lots of information, lots of courses, lots of meditations. Some of it's even free.
Yeah, it is.
And
It
you can
is.
also work with Lou one-on-one if you choose.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, so go check out her website.
And I just had this thought. Teaching the introduction to tarot,
Yes,
when is that?
it's actually tomorrow. But No,
Oh,
but
so
yes,
Trent's already
yeah,
done that.
yes, we've already done that. But there will be more. Like I'm going to start teaching the introduction to tarot at a little shop in Capalaba, Queensland called Elemental Connection. So get in touch if you want to know when the next course is happening.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because she'll be doing this quite regularly, I
Yes.
feel, which is really awesome.
Yeah. A bit.
So
Yeah.
yeah, that's fine. It's fine. It's fine. So
But
Trent
yes.
is learning very much how to step into that teaching space.
Yes.
So this is her
Yes.
gig, the
Yeah.
hand
So
over the
yeah.
reins, off you
Exactly.
go and teach the introduction to the learning to tarot,
Yeah.
right? So yeah, I'm sure it'll be all of Trent's
Yeah.
connections will be a great success. She comes from the heart, so
Yes.
very, very much go check it out. See if you can
Yes.
sign up for one of her workshops that are
Exactly.
coming up if you feel
Yeah.
so aligned with that.
Yeah, so you just get in touch if you and through
Can't even
can't
speak.
speak.
Yeah. Through our website,
Yeah,
through our
our email,
email.
which is the tarotdealers@gmail.com,
Yeah, or
but
like
also, the socials.
absolutely. And
Yeah,
like you guys have been commenting
yeah,
on the YouTube channel,
yeah. And
commenting
the
on
Spotify side. Yeah,
absolutely
yeah,
all the things.
yes.
So with that, what the fuck are we doing today?
After all that, I forget. Now we're deep diving into the
We are
Wheel of
deep
Fortune.
diving into the Wheel of Fortune.
Yes.
So
Yes, because
let
we have been asked by a couple of people to do more deep dives, especially on the major arcana.
yeah,
So that's what
so
we're doing.
we are doing this. We're going to go through them all, probably
Yeah,
randomly in
randomly.
different overs.
Yeah.
You know what? I say that, but I'm
We'd like
likely to sit down and go, what have I done? And then put them all in
exactly.
order.
Yes, we
So
probably will end up doing that. Because it's
not
like
OCD about it at
we've
all.
got no idea which ones we've done already.
There's
So
no point. Yeah. Okay, so Wheel of Fortune, and we are using today the Rider-Waite deck.
yeah.
So as we look at the Wheel of Fortune, the card itself can literally mean, it can be like a karmic, the Wheel of Fate, that kind of thing. It can be literally the card of I don't know.
Yeah.
So often, people like you can talk about, is it a yes or no card? This is literally I don't know.
Yeah.
So it's I don't know.
Yeah.
It can speak into the energies of Groundhog Day, where things are constantly repeating
Yeah.
itself and going around. You feel like a bit like Groundhog Day. Now, interestingly enough, it's the number 10. So it finds itself like almost right in the middle, right, of the major arcana. So it's kind of like you could say the first level of learning that the Fool reaches,
Yeah.
right? And that'll make sense shortly. So
Yeah.
with the whole learning thing, right? Now, just a few words about, like just words to that come to mind for the Wheel of Fortune. It can be change, it can be fate, it can be unpredictability, right? It can be reminding us that nothing lasts forever because it also speaks to cycles because things are spinning around, right? So that's what it is. Now, on here, I spoke to before the Fool doing some level of learning.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Now, if you have a close look on this particular Rider-Waite deck or on the Rider-Waite deck, you'll see in all four corners that those guys have books, which is indicative of learning, and it's learning the wisdom. It's starting to retain the wisdom, right? That's what that is about. Now, just bear that in mind for a second. We're going to look at some more of the symbology and then put the card together. So we have the snake here. Now, the snake, you'll notice, is heading in a downward sense.
Direction.
Downward direction. That's the word I'm looking for. Downward direction, right? Now, snakes. Let's talk about snakes. They can speak to healing. They can speak to the shedding of skin. So it can be indicative again of change. But they also can speak to the temptation and hell and going down, literally, into hell, right? Before we transform, we kind of
you sort of
often need to go down before,
you know, hit rock bottom before you can come back up.
Yeah, and for some people, that's life, right? That's how that is, right? So that's what that can be, right? So he takes us down to hell. Now, this guy here, it's a human body with a jackal head, right? It actually has been known as Anubis. Now, Anubis was an Egyptian god that created a safe passage from the souls who had passed over in the underworld through to the next life, right? Now, you'll notice that he's pointing in upward sensation. So it's like going to heaven, the new heaven, right?
Yes.
So he's safe passage, right? That's what he's doing. So he is also the giver of life because he's leading the new life, right?
Yeah.
Right? So just all these symbols. So he's the guide of souls. He's going to guide you, right? So then we look at the Sphinx, which sits up the top here, right? Now that Sphinx is actually Horus. It's an Egyptian god.
There's lots of Egyptian symbology in this card, isn't there?
Egyptian symbology. And actually somewhere I read whatever, that some of the very first tarot cards were Egyptian.
Wow.
Not all of them, but
well, they'd take that symbology into it, wouldn't they?
Take the symbology from there. So the Sphinx is about wisdom and protection, right? He's also about that resurrection, right? Because he's sitting on top here, so being that resurrected, right? Now we're going to talk to these four characters, right, in the corners that are holding their books and they're learning, right? So we'll see a bull here,
down there,
which represents Taurus. Also represents Earth, right? So there's that. Then we move to the lion, which represents the element of fire, and Leo. And then we have the bird at the top here. Now the bird, funny, bear with me, represents Scorpio, because Scorpio can be that phoenix rising, right? Yes. Because the Scorpio, Trans Scorpio.
Yes, I am.
Can be the scorpion. Deep down, right? Really deep people. And then the phoenix is the rising up and the liberation and all of that of the higher level of Scorpio, right? So it represents water, right? Very confusing here, because you would think that and I actually initially thought, that's air, but no, it's not. It's actually water, and it represents Scorpio. So then we look at the angel, which speaks to Aquarius, which represents the element of air, right? And angels in the air, I guess.
I suppose,
that was really tricky.
That's a bit confusing.
That could be a bit confusing, but I understand it, because Scorpio can also be the phoenix. Right? Yes. That's where that comes from, right? Now, when we look at the words around, or the letters around, we have, where is it? Where does it start? Is it
where does it start?
ROTA, where am I? Yeah, ROTA, right? And that is actually Latin for wheel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, literally Latin for wheel. Now, also, just going to touch on this in another way. We have, depends which way you go, of
Yeah.
course, Tora, Torah, right? Now, on the high
Yeah, I
priestess
was going to say the Torah also shows up on the high
is
priestess
also on the high priestess. Tora
on
sits
that
in
little
here,
scroll that
right?
she has.
Yeah, yeah. Now, the thing about that, right, is there's the Torah, which is Torah,
H.
has the H on the end. And that is the Hebrew Bible, and it's made up of the first 5 books of the Hebrew Bible. So when I see Torah on the high priestess here, if that's what I'm drawn to me, that's like there's more to learn, or there's
Yes.
something that's hidden, not quite revealed yet, right? And oops, here it is here as we go around there.
There it is.
There it is, right? So it's letting you know potentially
There's more to learn.
there's more to learn,
Yeah.
right? There's more to learn. Interesting. Now the symbols, let me have a look. What have I got here? Oh, yes, on the go around here. So not the letters, but the next level in there. See if I can get that clearer for you.
So in between the letters, you say?
Yeah, in between,
in
the,
between
letters,
the letters,
right?
yeah.
Okay. They are starting at the top and going clockwise. Mercury, sulfur, water, and salt.
Oh, okay.
That's what that is, right? That's what that is.
Oh, I wonder
Interesting.
what that means in the whole scheme of things.
Well,
Yeah.
it can think about so Mercury can also speak to the element of air,
Yeah.
right? And in here we have the element of air with Aquarius.
Aquarius, yeah.
Right. So I don't know what planet rules Aquarius. It'd be interesting.
Yeah, it'd be
See
interesting
what
to
planet
know.
rules
Yeah.
Aquarius, right? So we're not astrologers.
No.
If you're drawn to those more so, now you at least know
Now you know
what
what they are.
it could be timing, it could be what's actually needed. Like you think of the devil, right? Or going to hell, that's sulfur connected to that as well, right? And sulfur also connected to places like New Zealand.
New Zealand, yes,
right?
where they have the sulfur coming up.
Come up, yeah. So out of the
hot springs, aren't they?
there's
The
hot springs, yeah. I went to New Zealand years ago
Yeah.
now, and you could see the steam and the smoke coming up
Yeah.
at sulfur. Was it a place called, was it
Rotorua?
And it has a very distinct smell.
It does,
But coming
doesn't
up out of the like drains underground, like fascinating.
Yeah, it is. It's lovely.
Yeah,
If you can get past the smell,
yeah,
it's amazing.
it's
It's amazing.
Like the world is incredible, right?
It is. It's
So
very much.
yeah, so the card can be telling us a whole lot of things.
Yeah.
So, given that it's about change, right?
Yeah.
The questions that we're going to ask ourselves when this card arises is like, what is my relationship to change? Am I comfortable to change? Do I just roll with change? Or do I just allow myself to procrastinate and go round and round and round, right?
Or do you resist? Do you resist the change?
Resist the change, right? Do you resist the change? And on that, what does change feel like for you? Can you sense the change coming? Or do you find yourself in the middle of it and suddenly realize, oh, shit's different? What is that song? I think it's a Swiftie song where she says something like, I was still dancing when the music stopped.
Oh, okay.
Right. So she an indication that she didn't realize something had changed. She's going on with things. So that's what I would say. Like, these are the questions to ask. And the other one is, do I accept this new situation?
Okay.
Right. Do I accept this new situation? So different things. Now, in the center, there is nothing in there.
No, there's not.
Fucking nothing.
No.
So that can be
stand still, doesn't it?
Absolutely, it can.
Stand still. Just let the chaos reign around you.
It's the eye of the storm, right? So it's going to be still and watch all these things that go on. So being drawn to the center of the card, that's like the message for that, right? Really, really good. So on that, the question for that then, if you're drawn there, and if you're feeling nice and calm, then it's letting you know that. But if you're not, it's asking you to consider that. Now, the question then is, what pulls you out of your center?
Oh, okay.
Like what pulls you off kilter? What
Yeah.
distracts you? What pulls you out of your center? Because we really, really are better served to come from that calm place, right? And be the observer of everything that's going on. Because then we get those insights and those intuitive hits, right?
Yeah, and it's also once you come out change with a calm demeanor, it's easier.
I like that. Come out of change with a calm demeanor. I really like that trend. Yeah. So how can you do that, right? What pulls you out of center, and be aware of that so you can be in that calm demeanor.
Exactly.
I love that trend.
And accept the change for what it is. It's going to be, well, hopefully a really positive change for you. Yeah. So, but again, if it's not, if you feel it's a negative, that negative is only leading to a positive. Something is not working. That has to change for you to get to the positive side.
And we usually never see it in the moment, eh?
It's no, we get caught up.
Come back to your center, people. Come back to your center.
We'll quite literally get caught up in the chaos, and we can't see that we've needed
the change. Absolutely, that makes sense to me too. So reverse, just really quickly, I don't tend to read reverse, but for those of you that do, it can be that you're struggling against the events that are occurring. Right now, it can also be, when it's reversed, that there's a new awareness of self.
Okay. Interesting.
It can also be that these changes are completely internal, right? Completely internal before they affect the external. Now, we know that the external is just a reflection of what's happening inside us anyway. For some people, they might go in first, and for other people, they might need to see the external changing before they realise that something, they need to come back to their centre, right? Interesting. Now, I said before about the learning, right, and the four corners. Now, this is like midway, as we said right in the beginning. It's kind of the first level of learning that the fool gains, right? He's midway in his journey of learning. Whereas the world is the completion. So that's like stepped up to the second level of learning. Now, if we look at the guys in the four corners, on the Wheel of Fortune, you'll see they are learning. But on the world, you'll see they're in their like earthly manifested form, right? They're in their earthly manifested form, and they're in their full growth.
Exactly.
So it's still in the same positions. They still represent the same things, but they're in the capacity of having learned and made that an earthly experience, embodied that earthly experience. That's the difference in those two, you could say, on the fool's level of learning.
Yes.
Yeah.
But even in a reading, if those two came out, say they're like this, you can say, well, you are in the middle of change.
Yeah.
But the outcome would be this. If they came out in a reading, which they do sometimes, so you can say, okay, you're in the middle here. It might be just time to take a breath.
Yeah, go to your centre, right?
Go to your centre. But knowing that the outcome is this, that you succeed, you gather all the information you need, you come out of it a much more knowledgeable within yourself as well as externally. You've succeeded.
Yeah, you've completed, right? You've completed that cycle. Yeah. So
the other thing I wanted, and I remember one of my learnings with you, you were talking about direction. You can tell direction.
Yes, you can. Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can. You want to share that?
I can't remember what it is. I can't remember which direction's what.
when you follow the see, feel, know, right? Let's say you're looking here in this direction, right? Where is that actually pointing, right? So it tells you that we're heading, I don't know, north, south, east, west, whatever that direction is. And then here, that's to his head, right? Are we headed down to hell? Are we headed up here? Now, here's the thing about this card. It's a really, really cool trick that I read somewhere years ago. So we take the card and we divide it into four parts. Down the center, That's one side, that's the other side, and then also that's the top and that's the bottom. Now, if it's pointing this way, that's the side of the card that you look at for that whole side. That is going to the past. You are caught in the past. If you're looking this way, that is pointing to the future. So you are headed in the future. Your thoughts are more future-based. Now, from a mental health perspective, what those two things can then mean is this can be the depression because we're in the past, and this can be the anxiety because we're in the future. Remember, we need to be here.
Yes.
That doesn't mean you have to look at that part every time.
Yeah.
It just means, remember, see, feel, know is very much about where I'm at in this moment.
Yeah.
Right? Where I'm at in this moment. Now, if your eyes go to this part of the card, then that is where everything turns to fucking shit and we have to rebuild and start again. Now, remember, this snake takes us down to hell, right?
Yeah.
So it is where everything falls apart. It's the dark night of the soul stuff. So that might be where you're at. And there's learning to be had about that, right? But if you're up here, then this is where we get to manifest. And we're in the energy of manifestation. Right? I'm so glad you brought that.
Yes, I couldn't remember. I remember the four, but I couldn't remember what the directions were. Yeah,
so that's what that is, right? In
it's just
conjunction with the north, south, east, west thing, right? Which then represents the different elements, and that might tell you what you need to do in terms of I need to be more earthy, or I need to work with the element of air, or I need to, so there's all of those things too.
It's quite a detailed card, and the more you look, there's so much in it. Yeah, there's so much in it, because especially when you pointed to the arrow and it was pointing to his head. I just thought, oh my God, you're really in your head.
Really in your head. Yeah, you're really in your head, right? So it's interesting. Or, maybe you're going this way. Are you, starting to head down? You might catch yourself before you start heading down the slippery slope. Yeah. But then again, you might need the fucking slippery slope.
You might need to go down there. You might
need to go down there to clear some shit out so you can be rebirthed and be the phoenix.
Exactly.
There you go.
But it's also, I'm sorry, I looked at the number when you were talking about the number 10.
Okay.
10 is about endings and beginnings.
Yes.
So even though you're in the middle of, oh shit, I don't know where I'm going, something is changing. Like we said, the card of change, but again, 10s are ending and beginning. So it's another level to that card.
It is another level to that card, So, hope you've enjoyed the deep dive. You got any more on that? Got no more on that? Okay, I think we're good. Okay, now if you have anything that maybe we've missed or you think, we'd love to hear about, again, pop it in the comments, right?
Yeah, exactly. So like we said, we will be continuing our deep dives on everything. Yeah, we will. So but again, if you want to know a specific card, let us know.
Let us know. Absolutely, let us know.
Yeah.
We hope you've enjoyed that. We hope you've enjoyed that. Have an amazing rest of your day, whatever you're doing, day, night, morning, whatever you're doing. And from our heart to yours, big, big, big love.
See you
next time.